let's catch you up on the breaking news happening on Capitol Hill, and it is a busy one there. We now know speaker candidates have been whittled down because of secret ballot voting. Right now, Minnesota Congressman, the Majority Whip, Tom Emmer, is the new GOP nominee for the House Speaker. So let's bring in our panel now to discuss whether or not this will get done today. Rob Astorino, a senior political contributor and host of Saturday Agenda with us. Also, Mark Halperin, political analyst. Welcome in, guys. Good to have you on such a busy breaking news day on the Hill.
Thanks for having us.
Good to see you, Bianca.
Yeah. So, all right. Emmer is the winner of the secret ballot. Now it goes to the floor, we think, but can he get to 217? Mark, that is the big question, right?
Yeah, it's easy to be nominated to be speaker. It's hard to get elected speaker. We've seen that in the last couple of weeks. I think it's an open question. His support on the early ballots was not overwhelming. He went into this as the favorite. And we've already gotten more than the number he could afford to lose who voted for somebody else who seemed pretty dug in. So he's facing a very similar fight that Jim Jordan did. And unlike Jim Jordan, he does not have the support of Donald Trump. So if you were going to Ladbrokes right now and putting down money, I'm not sure you'd bet on Tom Emmer getting this on the floor.
Oh, wow. Well, you know, when Saturday Night Live has it as their cold open here, you know it's reached the zeitgeist here of the speaker vote. So Mike Johnson's also still in. He's from Louisiana, obviously. He's a contender, hasn't officially dropped out, Rob. So let's pick up of what Mark just said, though. Emmer, do you think he can secure it? It sounds like Trump had some pretty favorable, at least outward-facing comments for Emmer yesterday.
Yeah, there were. I wouldn't read too much into the Donald Trump comments on Emmer. That is not a strong relationship. This is going to be the question, number 3 and 4, those two numbers, right? Third time, is it going to be a charm where they could actually get somebody over the 217? And 4, that's only 4 defections that could be allowed right now for Emmer to get over there. And can they and will they coalesce behind somebody? The good thing for Emmer is he was the NRCC chair, so he was raising money all over the country for the conference and candidates. So he's got a lot of donors that he knows and he could call on when they need him to. So do they want to give that up and go for somebody who may not be well known by donors, but more conservative? Or do they want more of a candidate who could help them in the long run? I think Mark is right. I mean, I'm not so sure Emmer gets over the hump here. I hope for the sake of the party, he does, because the clown show will continue and just continue to get worse.
Yeah, and we're looking outside the hallway there, just always been a flurry of reporters the past few days. Well, if it didn't go to Emmer, I mean, would we see a whole new crop, Mark, possibly of new names like we did this time where we had, you know, Donalds and Muser and all these folks? We had 9 people as of yesterday right now at this hour. What do you think?
Here's the problem for the party. Look, one storyline now is maybe Democrats will say, you know, we like Emmer. Emmer's the only one who was left at the end who voted to say Joe Biden was the duly elected president. So maybe Democrats are now talking about helping Emmer over the top. The minute that becomes a reality, he'll start to shed Republican votes. Every Democrat vote in his way probably loses him 2 Republicans. So that's a problem. The other problem, if it's not Emmer, is we just had an open race, right? They basically said anybody could run. This was not Scalise and Jordan in a limited field. And so the conference had a chance to pick someone besides Emmer. And while Emmer was not overwhelming in how this vote played out, no one else was overwhelming either. So it's a problem. If Emmer doesn't get it, I can't tell you who rises to the fore. I go back to maybe Kevin McCarthy redux because he's got the most votes right now.
I was just going to say, and we know he really wants the job. He always, he didn't really want to give it up. It was a motion to vacate initiated by Gates, Rob. So could it go back to McCarthy? And what an exercise and historic moment this would be if it came around that way.
I think that would be a tough pill for at least 5 of the 8 Republicans who ousted him to swallow. I mean, certainly Gates would never go for that. I'm not so sure 2 or 3 others would do that too. I mean, that is logical, but we're not dealing with logical people right now. And it's like, who do you go to? As Mark just said, like anyone who wanted to run was already in the running. And so what do you go down to AA, single A ball to pull somebody up to the majors? They've got to stop, and they've got someone who is acceptable. And Mark is also right on. if the Democrats and what they're trying to do is play a game and say, yeah, we can support Emmer, that's the kiss of death too. So, I mean, they got to figure it out quickly.
Yeah. So final 10 seconds, 20 seconds here, Mark. I'll let you put a button on this here. So we're looking at, again, another day of maybe a vote, maybe another vote. They know optics wise with the war in Israel, November 17th, that they have to get something done. What is it? Are they just looking? If it's not logical, people, as Rob just alluded to, what is the issue here? Why can't they just find good enough and say, let's do it?
Well, look, I think they need someone who talks not about process and not about psychodrama, but someone who talks about the nation and the country and the Republican Party. We didn't see Emmer's pitch in the room because it wasn't open to cameras or the press. But from his public campaign, Emmer is mostly running as a process guy. And I don't think process is going to be the thing that eventually unites the conference. So let's see if he gives a big speech saying why he's the right person for America right now. And if that can galvanize the conference, it's not the kind of politician he's historically been. But I've thought for a while that that's what's going to take. I think that's what brought down Jordan. You got to be big in this race, not inside. They're running inside.
Mark Halperin, Rob Astorino, thanks for being with me right now. A lot of breaking news, and we're watching it closely. And good analysis. Another day here on the Hill unfolding in historic proportions. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bianca.